berries. There could be some roots around. There definitely will be some. And medicinal plants. And in case any of you kids grow up and you want to be growers, you'll find some poisonous plants too that will guarantee to wipe out your victims. You'll be the most scary prisoners in jail. Okay, so when we find things, you need to look at them very closely. Does it have leaves or fruit? Is there something wrong? What does it smell like? Did you bring that? Don't ever do that again. Yeah, so come in close when I show you the features so you can see everything clearly. Just think Joe Biden. And if you get it wrong, that's not funny. That's a sad song written by the great composer Frédéric Chopin to play at funerals. The words are, pray for the dead as the dead will pray for you, because the dead have nothing else to do. Okay, let's head to the barn. Ready? Yeah, that's called the piece of dogwood. September, they're red. But I'm not seeing any red around here. Oh, I see them.
Oh.
If they're red, you can eat them. Spit out the seeds.
Serious?
Yeah. No, that's orange. You want the red one like this. Let me see if it's squishy. No, this is hard. Now feel the difference here. This is squishy, and this is hard. So the squishy red one. Yes, yes, yes. This is perfect. Yeah, piece of dogwood. They're soft and red. Yeah. You spit out.
Did you get one?
Yeah, I did.
A soft red one? Is it soft?
It's relatively soft. Beautiful.
Can I see it?
Are there more ripe ones here?
They're kind of spiky, but I guess
Are you supposed to just bite them?
What does it taste like?
Neat.
Can I try it?
Okay, Julia,
I'm just
get
gonna
up
take a
the train.
picture of
We'll
it.
get in trouble for climbing.
My phone is terrible at taking photos. Here.
Have you had these before? Yeah.
Tastes like a peach. Like,
The outside tastes different.
yeah, that tastes terrible.
It's got a pit too.
Yeah, you should just spit out the seed.
That's cool. Oh, it's weird.
Isn't it? Should we just throw this out now? yeah, we'd say one.
Okay, so I'd like to talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
This is a bush, it's not a tree. What is it missing that a tree has?
A trunk.
A trunk. So therefore we know it couldn't possibly be an elephant or a car because it has no trunk. The wood, so you want to recognize these in the winter too, so you can come back in the fall. The wood has patches, sort of yellow and dark gray, so it's patchy. The leaves, here, come over here so everyone can see. The leaves are always in two. See, 2 leaves here, 2 leaves here, 2 leaves here. That's called opposite leaves. Some plants have alternate leaves where the leaves are in one. Some leaves are divided into segments, but these are opposite leaves. And this shape is an ellipse. It's like a stretched out circle. And the edges are smooth. Some leaves have edges that look like the edge of a knife. So that's how you recognize it. The fruit is spherical. It's like a ball, and it has bumps on it, and it has hard seeds inside. And I think it tastes a little like apricot. Any comments on the flavor? It's K-O-U-S-A, Kousa, O-U-S-A, Kousa dogwood. Cornet? No, just fruit and not seed. And one thing I have not been able to do is get this good cooked. When you cook it, it gets bitter. So this is one I only eat raw. And I'll show you some pictures of the life cycle of the plant from my app, Wild Edible Storage. So this is not from this part of the world. People plant it in yards and gardens and parks as ornamental, so you should be able to find it just in your neighborhood. Very, very common. Just make sure you get permission from whoever owns the land. Now the flowers can be white or yellow, and they have 4 petals. This is my painting. The center, the ovary, is what becomes the fruit they were eating now. They get bigger and they become the fruit. So this is what it looks like in the spring. This is why people plant it, because it's so beautiful. And here is a photo of a tree with white flowers, or a bush. This is why people plant it in their yards. It's very beautiful. Yeah. And here's a photo of the flowers. And again, the center, which is the ovary, becomes the fruit.
Wow.
And here's a photo of the fruit that you all ate.
How long is the season for the fruit?
Usually most of September. You might find 1 or 2 ripe ones at the end of August, 1 or 2 that haven't fallen off in October, but it's usually September. And here's my painting of the fruit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is done with watercolor pencils. Okay, any other questions? Who's the dogwood? Yeah, all dogwoods have 4 petals like this one. And the leaves of all dogwoods are opposite. But the flowers are different on different species, and the fruits are different.
And the other dogwood?
On the other dogwoods, yeah. This one is so distinct, you're not going to mistake it with anything. Okay, let's continue. reasons I've never understood, this is called foxtail grass. Can't figure out why. And what you do is you rub the seed head over your hand, and the seeds come out. This is a relative of millet. Who's eaten millet? Whole grain. Well, this is in the millet genus. And don't rub it hard. You don't want the hairs to come off. They can kill. These hairs can kill you. They lodge between your teeth, and you either die of annoyance trying to get them out, or you die of old age trying to get them out between your teeth. So some of them have ripe seeds, others don't. Foxtail grass. It is a grass.
Is it edible?
Yeah, try the seeds. The ones where the seeds fall out when you rub them. If none of the seeds fall out, they're not ripe. Most of these have some ripe seeds in them. So they're crunchy. So what I like to do with these is mix them with rice or other grains to add crunchiness to it. And of course you throw a handful of these on a salad and makes the salad crunchy.
So can we?
Foxtail grass.
I'm gonna take a picture of this.
There's nothing that looks like this anywhere that has, there's two species. One, and they're both edible. One, the seed head is straight up, it doesn't curve. And the other one, it curves. But they're both edible. They're very common. They're in season now, probably through the end of September. So if you have a bag, rub off some of the seeds gently. You don't want the hairs. And put them in your bag, and when you have a salad or a bowl of rice, you throw them in. Another very, very easy one to recognize and quite common. Yeah, I didn't like shields. What? Yeah, you see them everywhere. No, it's probably wild. I'll show you the pictures. Oh, again, with this one, it's pretty obvious what this is. Oh, here's my painting of the one that's straight, that doesn't bend over. So two species, one is straight, one is curved. Use them the same way. And here's the photo of the one we just were picking. And here's a photo of the straight one. Only thing you could confuse it with is if it's dangerous is a fox's tail, because you could get bit. Yeah, don't grab a real foxtail. Okay,
Did you try one?
Finished.
Yeah.
We'll move on. Another thing you can do is just grab like 30 or 40 of these quickly, put them in a bag, and then rub them when you get home. Then you get a better harvest. But I like the mild, nutty flavor and a lot of crunchiness.
I was watching it.
these bushes are June berries. I presume you've eaten these before? Yeah, what did you think of them? Yeah, they're one of the best berries in the world, and for some reason they ripen in June. We'll cover those more in depth when they're in season. Are there more people in there from our group? One more. There's someone still in the ladies' room? Oh, you're sure there's someone in there? I don't want to wait for someone who's not. Okay. Okay. Any questions meanwhile? So one more person still in there?
I'm still waiting for.
Well, I have that
Double check. I think there's one more person.
Okay.
Is there anyone else in there?
Okay, let's go.
Can't remember if anyone came up. Put a salt shaker in a robot.
Okay, here's one of the best tasting foods in the world. It's called yellow wood sorrel. It has a leaf that's divided into 3 parts. What shape do you see on each leaflet? Hearts. Okay, and it has yellow flowers with 5 petals, and it has a spindle-shaped seed pod. So you eat the flowers, the leaves, and the seed pods. The stem is too tough, and it is very delicious. Who wants to tell us what it tastes like? People confuse it with clover, but clover has oval leaves, no hearts. The way I keep this straight is because this has hearts, it reminds me of my daughter who I love. Clover, which has no hearts, reminds me of my ex-girlfriend who ran off with another guy on Valentine's Day 23 years ago who also has no heart. Could be more sympathetic, it's only been 23 years. What do you think of the flavor?
It's like guava.
Yeah, what do you think? Bitter. To me it tastes sour like lemon. Yeah, who wants it? Pass it around. There should be some on the ground.
What is the name of it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Really delicious.
Thank you.
That's it. Lemony flavor and full of vitamin C. It gets smaller if it's not cold.
But what is the name of it?
Yellow wood sorrel.
Yellow wood sorrel. I'll take a picture of it at least.
Yellow wood sorrel. Anytime you find that there's nothing that looks similar, yeah, that's it. Yeah, and if it's not mowed, it can get about 1.5 feet tall. It likes partly sunny, partly shaded habitats. You first start finding it in April, and you can still find it in November. Outside of that, you're out of luck. You don't get the lemon flavor? Yeah. Okay, so this obviously will make any salad extremely delicious, and you can cook it with bland things like pasta and potatoes, and it sparks up the bland food. And it holds its own with in spicy dishes too. And this one, some of the plants look very different at different stages. This one, like the other things we found, pretty much looks the same all the time. See, here's my painting of the seed pods, the flower, and the leaf. Basically what we've been finding. But keep your eyes open, there may be larger patches of it. Wild man, he's real good afternoon, right? Okay, here is another delicious plant. This is called burdock. Okay, everyone come over. B-U-R-D-O-C-K. Archeum lapa.
Yeah.
It grows in, the leaves come out in a circle. It's called a basal rosette. They're very large and wedge-shaped, and they are white underneath. This plant growing next to it is a different one we'll go over later that is not white underneath. So, burdock lives 2 years. Looks very different in its second year. The first year grows in a circle called a basal rosette, and it has an edible root. The second year it makes flowers, seeds, and dies. It's the first year plant right here that you want, and it's the root that's edible. The root is deep, so you need a shovel. You need to be lucky that there's no rocks, which I don't know. And then it helps to dig it up if you say a magic spell. 2 words, has to be in the right order, and only works if you're an environmentalist, if you love nature. So let's try it. Donald Trump! Donald Trump! Donald Trump! Well, I just got a little bit of it. Oh, Trump isn't good for anything. Okay. You smell it. Smells like potato and dirt. Who's cooked this before? Yeah, it's a very delicious root vegetable. We'll see if we can find it in a better location.
I've seen it on TV.
I've heard of
Yeah,
it.
this is an invasive Asian plant,
Yeah.
so you can dig up as much as you want and it won't do any harm. Burdock, B-U-R-D-O-C-K. Burr because it has burrs that stick to your clothing, and dock means remove, as if you dock the tail of an animal. Yeah, who wants to try digging one up?
Right away. Hey.
Yeah, this is all burdock if you have digging tools.
Oh no. Wow.
Take the shovel, hold it tight with 2 hands, and kick as hard as you can. No, that's dandelion, which is pretty bitter now. Who said they wanted it? Yeah, go ahead. Stand over behind it, hold it with 2 hands, and stomp as hard as you can and think angry thoughts. Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Oh, you hit a rock.
Yeah.
Oh, if
that's
there's
what
a
it sounds
rock, go to the other side and try again. When there's a rock, a little closer in. You're too far away. Yeah, there. Oh, that's working. All the way down. Who wants this one? You put it in a soup, you stew it, and the leaves are good, chopped up, mixed with clay. If you have no clay, kitty litter for bruises. The best remedy for bruises. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
If you don't have a bruise, you can dry it. You got some of it.
Oh.
Anyone want this one? Okay, it's considered. I'll take the shovel and find a root and dig. Right? There's a whole bunch of them over there.
I just want to take a look.
You could dry them
So that's
either in a dehydrator or air dry them in a paper bag so they don't gather dust. If you ever get a bruise, you chop them up, mix them with clay and water, and bandage it on the bruise. So if you dehydrate them in a dehydrator or just leave them in a paper bag. Make sure they have the right plant. No, that's not the burdock.
So the leaves you dry out and chop up with clay?
I don't know. I'm reporting it. So.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember in my head.
I think that's what he said. Yeah. I mean, as long as you wash everything.
Okay, I'm going to show,
Soak
when
it.
you're finished digging those up, I'll show you the pictures. So the root is somewhat tough, so you simmer it for 20 minutes in a soup, a stew, beans, or a pot of rice. Japanese recipe in my cookbook, Kimpira Gobo, you first saute it in sesame or peanut oil with some carrots, slices of carrots and ginger, and then you add wine, tamari,
On the bottom
tamari,
side.
soy sauce, cover it, and let it simmer. No, that's not burdock.
Yeah.
That's not burdock. There's other places where it'll be in 5 minutes, there's more of it. Oh, look, you got a nice root. Good job.
Very good.
So let me show you the pictures. This has a more complex life cycle than what we've seen before. Biennial, it's 2 years. And the root is in season. Usually the first leaves like this come up the last week of March, and then you know where to dig. The roots are there all winter, but you can't find them. And you can still find little bits of torn up leaf that are not vanished at the start of December. So as long as the ground isn't frozen, you can dig it up. here's my pen and ink drawing of the first year plant, the big one. This is what you want. After the rain, it's easier to dig because the soil is softer. Here's a photo of what you're looking for on the ground. And this grows in disturbed habitats where people have overturned the soil, cultivated places. And here's a photo of the plant with a big root. Yeah, kids, you want to see what this looks like? Look, second year, mid-May to mid-June, the second year plant develops a stem. What you do with the stem is you cut it or break it off and boil it for 1 minute in lightly salted water, let it cool, and then you peel it. The skin is tough, and the inside tastes like artichoke heart. Very delicious. Just this year I made a lot of recipes with this. When I get the app updated, I'll be adding those recipes. Here it is in the summer, second year. Gets about 3 feet tall, lots of branches like a tree, and it has magenta flowers. So these are the flowers of the second year plant. And when the flowers die, you get these burrs. Now here's something that kids can do with the burrs. Collect as many as you can and put them in a bag. When you get home, they stick together like Legos. You can build anything you want. If I ever get more time, I'm going to spend an hour collecting the burrs and make a great big gigantic Donald Trump in diapers and then spray paint it orange. I'll bet I could sell that to art dealers.
To Democrats.
Yes. Yes. So here are the seeds. The seeds are like little stones. You can't eat them, and if you cook them, they're like cooked stones. But you throw them on your neighbor's property, and then next year, oh look, you have all these weeds. Let me help you dig them out. Yeah, and it grows in dense stands. Often you find one next to the other, next to the other.
Does it matter their growth cycle?
Yeah, first year when they're along the ground like we just found, that's when you dig it up, because the plant is storing the plant is storing food over the winter, so it can grow rapidly next year. But next year, once it develops the stem, it doesn't need the root anymore. All the energy goes into flowers and seeds, and the root is as tough as wood. And if you cook it, it's like cooked wood. Now, for decades, I would always simmer the burdock to make it soft. But I finally figured out a way of taking advantage of the tough texture. So those of you who know this from other tours, don't say anything. But I'm a vegan, and what would be the toughest food that a vegan would never eat? Tougher than steak. You're in the right direction. Jerky. Okay, you get to taste vegan beef jerky. Okay, who wants to try? Take a little piece. Oh, and disclaimer, no vegan was harmed in the production of the vegan beef jerky.
That tastes good. You want the
That's
rest
from
of
the
it?
root.
It is good.
Yeah, burdock is delicious.
That tastes good.
I steamed it to soften a little, then I marinated it in apple cider vinegar, wine vinegar, tamari soy sauce, olive oil, wild bay leaves, garlic that was peeled but not cut, black peppercorns and cloves, and then I baked it until it was sort of tough. Everyone got some? Yeah, so that's vegan beef jerky. That'll be in an update in my app too. I got into foraging because I love cooking.
How long does it last?
The jerky?
Yeah. If
No,
you,
I freeze it. Not
Okay.
long, because I bring it on my tours and then it's gone.
oh, okay. I meant like
It'll last at least a few weeks in the refrigerator, but it freezes perfectly well.
okay.
And very easy to make. Mix together the ingredients, steam the burdock for 20 minutes, and then stick it in the jar. Shake every morning, every few hours, and then drain it and bake it. And when it's chewy, and you have the jerky. You should taste the vinegar, a little bit of the pepper, the cloves, and some garlic, and the bay leaves. Definitely one of my favorite plants. Dig this up every year. Look for a place where the leaves are large and where by experimentation I've determined there's no rocks in the soil. And best after it rains because it's easier to dig when the soil is wet. Yeah, who's used this before? Yeah, where did you dig it up?
Allie.
Ellie? Okay. The woodland section? Yeah, I could do more tours there, but it's off the subway, so people don't sign up. I love Alley.
True.
Yeah.
More of this, I can make a long neck and some legs and make a little dog. Yeah, who wants this to just make things with later? So put it in a bag, get it. Oh, there's more there. Yeah, get as many of these as you can so you can make something large with them. Anything you can imagine you'll make that'll stick. A dinosaur, a giraffe, a table. When they're about this big, mid-May to mid-June. Now they're too tough. It's when the stem is just starting to grow like a little. So that has for the roots is the whole growing season from March to December. The stem has a very short growing season. And don't eat the leaves. They are very bitter and they can even cause you to hallucinate. They taste so bad you could swear you're eating in a restaurant in England. I had one tour decades ago where it had rained. The first plant we picked was burdock. The leaves were still wet. Everyone handled the leaves digging up the roots. The wet flavor got on their fingers. Every bed, wood sorrel, terrible. Berries, terrible. They spit out everything because the bad flavor got on their fingers, and then the wet fingers touched everything else and transferred the flavor. Not a single one of those people ever came on another tour again. They're very good. You could dig up the root. You could dig up the root and see Here are more birds if you want. Tons of birds.
More here, more. It's incredible, no cup
Yeah,
stem.
if you make something that you're really proud of, take a photo and post it on my Facebook page. But it's just as fun if you have to grade things, grade different colors. Like if you make a giraffe, you can paint it orange, and then when it's dry, you paint brown spots on it. So you use your, that's a black walnut.
That's what I'm looking for. It looks like black walnut.
Yeah, there's a tree here, but they're more further in the park. So we'll cover that when we're in the park.
It's incredible, no cup stem.
Excuse me?
No cup stem. Not yet.
Yeah, that's more burdock. But if you look at the ground here, it's very dry and rocky, so this would not be a good place to dig it up. It wasn't the cops, it was the park rangers.
Oh, the park rangers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The cops had better. Who wants more wood sorrel? Right in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Lots of wood sorrel here.
Wow.
Leave the roots in, then it grows back. the wood sorrel should go into a plastic bag. They wilts in paper. It dries out. Paper is porous, so the water evaporates.
Oh, I haven't tasted it yet. No, I don't know. It's probably fine. But I mean, I don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's more here if you want it.
I mean, there's something for it.
Huh? There's something we paid. I paid more for food than I used to. She learns like a ton of stuff in like 40 minutes. Still like not even a third of the way through it.
They come on the last week of September, or a week too early. Every year it's the last week of September.
Those are no, I'm not going to.
Yeah, what do you want to eat?
No.
Taco place is closed.
Right, Sunday.
Everything. It would just be a
I guess I could grab the whole.
There's also the fried chicken place.
Oh yeah. I like the whole.
plus over here. Okay, everyone, come over here. I found something you've all been itching to learn about. This is poison ivy.
This?
Yes.
Don't be that close.
Oh.
No touching.
The bag's touching it.
No, this isn't the poison ivy.
No,
this is wine.
his bag was touching down below.
This.
Yeah,
he's
your
touching
bag
it
is
again.
touching it again. Yeah, not a good idea. Okay, so poison ivy here is growing as a shrub. See, it has a woody stem, very short shrub. It can also grow on a tree as a vine. It has a compound leaf. That means one leaf divided into segments. One to the left, one to the right, and one in the middle. Why would a leaf, instead of getting really big, divide into parts? What physical force would be more likely to injure a large leaf than a leaf that's divided into parts? No. What? No. Yeah, what physical force would harm a great big leaf that would not harm the leaf? Yes, wind. So the wind can pass through the segments. And because of climate change, we're going to have more hurricanes, more nor'easterns, and stronger winds. And poison ivy is ready for that, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that poison ivy is a Republican plant.
Oh my God.
Okay, now, when you're doing science, one of the most important things you probably learn in school that you come up with a hypothesis and then you do an experiment, right? Well, that's not true. First, you observe and you do research so you can come up with an intelligent hypothesis and do an experiment. So we're going to do an observation test here. What does this middle leaf have that the two side leaves don't have? Something big. What big thing does this have that these two don't? Very close. Stem, yeah. So the middle one has a stem, but the two side ones don't. And if you look carefully, the leaves are a little bit shiny. There's an oil on there called urashi oil. And the oil isn't harmful, but your immune system thinks it is and attacks your own skin. So that's how poison ivy works. And if you touch it, you get a very bad rash. Not everyone gets the rash, though. Here, can you help me for a second?
No.
Who wants to help me?
No volunteers.
No.
Once upon a time, I led a tour, and there was an old German lady by the name of Louisa. And Louisa says, "Hello, Mr. Good, my name is Louisa. So happy to meet you. I saw you on the TV. I thought about you in the newspaper. I'm going to do all the plants. You show me all the plants. Ah!" So I say, we're going to look at poison ivy. Louisa goes, "Yeah, Mr. Bill, is this the plant?" Louisa, don't touch it. No, not touch it all my life. Leave it alone. What's going to happen to me? A week later, Louisa comes on another tour. Both her arms are covered with bandages. Louisa, what happened to you? That was the point. I shouldn't have touched it. I don't do that no more. So it took her 60 years of handling it before she got the rash.
Oh, wow.
Worst thing to do is to burn it, because if you breathe in the smoke, it'll kill you. Yeah, there's only one person in the world who wouldn't be harmed. Very famous guy. Lives in Westchester with his wife, who's also very famous. They're the most famous couple in Westchester. Who's the guy?
You?
Bill Clinton. He doesn't inhale.
Oh.
Okay, let's take a look at the life cycle of poison ivy, because this has different forms. Now, poison ivy does have two good qualities. One, it's easy to find. One of my friends was looking for ginseng. He found it in the Catskill Mountains. It took him only 80 years. But poison ivy you find on almost every tour. So it's one good thing about it. Secondly, it's reliable. You can count on it. Any part of the planet, any time of year can give you a rash. You never have to worry. Very dependable.
What is the best cure for the itch?
Jewelweed, which we should find later. That prevents the rash totally. Yeah, we'll probably find that in the woods.
When the park rangers see that, do they try to
That's
remove it or
native.
get rid of it?
No, they probably couldn't
If I
even
touch your bag,
identify
I would break out.
Oh.
Your bag's contaminated. Yeah.
They get 6 weeks of training for everything, so I'm not, I don't consider them great sources of knowledge.
So the poison ivy is a great protector?
That's what the Native Americans said. When a forest is mature and healthy, it's too shady, poison ivy doesn't grow. If a forest is damaged by fire or something else, poison ivy comes in, as do blackberries with their thorns, and they protect the forest from humans until the forest is totally healed and regrown, and then they disappear, and that's because they can't tolerate the shade. So here's my painting of poison ivy as you see it now. Don't touch it. Yeah. Okay. So here's what it looks like when it's a baby in late March or early April. This is the size of your fingernail. The leaves are red and they have teeth or serrations on the side. And this is when you can eat it if you're a total idiot. Eat 1 leaf the first day, and 2 leaves the second day, and 3 leaves the third day. What are people trying to do? Yes, become immune to it. And sometimes it works and they can touch poison ivy, nothing happens. Other times it doesn't work. Then you get a terrible rash where the poison ivy enters your body, and you get a much worse rash where it leaves the body on the other end. So not a good idea to eat. See, here it is a little bit older. It's still redder and shinier than now. This would be maybe mid-April. Just as poisonous. It can be a vine. Here it's a shrub. It can be a vine climbing up the tree. So here's what it looks like now. And it's a native plant. It comes from America, so it belongs here. Here it is growing out of a tree as a vine. Here are the flowers. They bloom in May. They're yellow and green, beautiful and deadly. They remind me of my ex-wife.
Flowers will make you itch too, right?
Well, you can count them. All parts of the planet, all times of year. You never have to worry. Okay, the sticks you saw over there, this is what it looks like without the leaves in the winter. Little gray sticks coming out of the ground. Yes, yes. As I said, you can always count on it. It's the most dependable plant in the world. If you look at the sticks closely, some of them have little hairy roots coming out. See the roots? That helps you tell it is for sure that you have a poison ivy stick in your hand. You see the little hair. Now these are the berries. These are delicious if you're a bird. You eat the berries, and when you poop, the seeds come out and more poison ivy grows. So every poison ivy plant you ever seen started its life inside the butt of a bird. Now it's an American plant, but in the fall it turns such beautiful colors that competitive gardeners from other countries have transplanted it overseas to have the most beautiful garden in their neighborhood in the fall. Everyone comes and looks. How did you get such beautiful colors? Let me see what this is. Isn't that smart?
See, don't touch. Just see, don't touch.
Okay. And here's the vine in the winter. So this is what people sometimes put on their campfires, and then they wonder why they can't breathe anymore. It's called squirrel's tail. See how it looks like a squirrel's tail? So that's the winter, one of the winter forms of poison ivy. So let's see if you can find more poison. You want to spot it automatically, so for the rest of your life, you see it before you walk into it. There's one plant to memorize today. It's the poison ivy. Let's see who finds
Now,
more.
what's the use of it?
Oh, the use. Okay. A little over 100 years ago, what was making the news all over the world? World War I. Well, there was a Nobel Prize-winning chemist by the name of Fritz Haber, and he created the Haber-Bosch process, where he brought inert nitrogen from the atmosphere into the soil to help plants grow. And then he went over to the dark side of science. He was a patriotic German, and he decided to try to figure out how to invent something that in very tiny quantities was as toxic to the human body as poison ivy for World War I. What did he invent? Mustard gas. Yeah. Terrible, the first weapon of mass, well actually no, the Romans would throw bodies of people who died of smallpox over the walls of their enemies to start epidemics. So there were actually weapons of mass destruction before that. But he invented poison gas weapons. His wife was so horrified she committed suicide. And the poison gas had a drawback. If the wind shifted, your own troops would get killed. So in World War II, everyone had poison gas weapons. Nobody wanted to be the first to use it. Even Hitler didn't use it because he was afraid of the wind changing direction and killing his own army. So after World War II, they had to figure out what to do with all the poison gas weapons. You know what they did? They turned it into chemotherapy for cancer. So that's how cancer chemotherapy was born, from the leftover poison gas weapons that no one used in World War II. So indirectly, poison ivy led to the development of chemotherapy for cancer. Okay, let's keep going. Thing you try today. It's really, anyone like bitter greens? Yeah. Okay, take a taste.
Okay.
Tell me if this isn't awful. Very little bit.
It's not awful, but it's there.
I don't
Bitter,
like
right?
it.
It's bitter. It's very, and the bitter stays.
dock.
It stays. It
Dock means get rid of it, like if they dock the tail of a dog, or your parents do something bad at work and they're docked with their pay. That's what
doesn't-
docking
the
is.
bitter is
Yeah, so this is pretty bad.
So what's the name of it?
Bitter dock.
bitter down.
But
It's the one that has, it seems like it's got
doesn't
more
have
holes
the
on it.
white, and it has the purple midrib. and often grows near burdock. There's a lot of it in here. And after 30 years, I finally figured out what to do with it. I cooked it with a chickpea, white miso, sesame oil coating and sweet herbs like orange rind, and I made a recipe called sweet duck. Who wants to try it? Here, break off some pieces and pass. Same leaf.
Oh.
So break off pieces and pass them out. Who else wants to try it?
Good.
It's good?
Good.
Who else wants some?
Nice.
It's like
Nice flavor.
it's almost like it's like fishy almost. You know?
Like a seaweed.
Anyone
Yeah.
didn't get any?
You don't like it?
Oh yeah, I like it. Yeah, I just anyone
Yeah.
who wants some more?
Yeah, I'm okay.
It's just not as
Good. So
You
it's the same
marinated it?
plant.
You marinated?
No, I take 1 part cooked chickpeas, put it in a food processor with 1 part white miso, 1 part olive oil, half a part pine nuts, that makes it thick puree, and then I add orange rind, which you should be tasting on your palate. You taste a little bit of orange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Orange rind, an herb we may find later called sassafras. You can also use cinnamon. And I think some fresh vanilla bean, I'm not quite sure.
It's actually really
And
good.
a sweet herb called stevia, clear liquid stevia.
Oh.
And I put
Stevia.
that, mix that in the food processor, and then
Okay, you only take a
1
tiny bit.
part of the coating, 5 parts leaves.
It's really good.
And I bake them on
Yeah.
an oiled non-stick baking pan placed over a cookie sheet. Okay. Other thing you can do with a bitter dock is you can use it in recipes that call for cooked greens, but in small quantities. Then it tastes lemony. If you use moderate quantities, it overpowers everything else and it's awful. So
High in iron?
iron, vitamin A, calcium, and potassium. Yeah, it's very nutritious. Cooked or raw, but you can't eat much raw. I think it's terrible.
lemon in the...
It'll be less bad, but I certainly
Have you
like
juiced
this
it?
way. What?
Have you juiced it?
No, I don't do too much juicing. I like the fiber.
Okay, you like
Yeah, the fiber is good for the microbiome. So
Yeah.
I was always a little suspicious of juicing everything. You get higher concentrations of sugar and you're losing the fiber which your digestive system needs. And within the last 10 years, it's been discovered there are microorganisms that are good for you that live in your digestive system and they love the fiber. So I think my intuition of being wary of juicing came out to be correct. So whoever wants some, it's all over here. Pick as much as you want. One of the things I'm going to do in the future is make the recipe you just tasted. But and I've actually done this before, but don't cook it for the full time so it's still soft and not crunchy. And then put in a stuffing. So one of the stuffings I put in is rice, sauteed onions, and garlic, rolled it up, and then baked it in a baking dish with tomato sauce like Eastern European stuffed cabbage. And it works really well. The next thing I'm going to do is fill it with Indian seasonings, slice it into wedges, and fry them. I know they do something like that in India with broad leaves that grow there, but not here. The root is also called yellow dock. You can boil it. It's used in herbal medicine for the liver. Hasn't been tested, but may be good for liver problems. It may not. Bitter dock.
Bitter dock, the root is yellow dock.
Yeah, but pearly dock root is also yellow. They're both related, and both roots are used for medicine the same way. They're closely related plants. Those big leaves over there, look underneath, there could be grapes. Not every grapevine produces grapes, but once in a while, if you keep looking each time, eventually, sooner or later, you find wild grapes. These are not grapes over here. These are porcelain berries. This is the best poisonous plant to eat. You have to eat a poisonous plant, eat this one, you throw up and then you recover. Won't kill you. I'm not seeing grapes in here. Okay, let's keep going if everyone has the bitter dot. Oh, I want to show you the pictures. And what's right in front of me here? Everyone see all the poison ivy?
Yes.
Yeah. The more you look at it, the less you'll touch it. See over the 3 leaves there? A little shrub standing up maybe a foot tall. All poison ivy.
They grow in backyard at home?
It can, yeah. Yeah. It's a very common plant. As long as you recognize it, you're safe. We'll see enough of it today, you should all recognize it for the rest of your life. Okay, so here's bitter dock. It comes up in March. One of the first plants. You can download Wild Edibles Forage, then you have all the pictures. There are some bugs, but I have a new developer working on it. Yeah, sadly, my old developer injured his legs. Yeah, then he dragged his feet for 2 years. That was a lame joke. Okay, so here it is a little bigger. See the purple, a purple midrib. Very common plant. And here it is from the side. This is in the spring.
So is it this stuff here?
And it also develops
Is it?
They don't know if it's the stem now. You can peel the stem and eat it. It tastes lemony. It's quite good. That would be an egg. Here are the seeds.
Oh, here we go. Like here, right? Mm-hmm.
I can't tell. Affected by poison ivy. The dog will be totally covered with the poison and nothing happens until you play with the dog. Then you get the rash. Only humans, guinea pigs, and 2 species of monkeys are affected by poison ivy. Yes. That's very bad. I'm not going to remember any of this. I'm forgetting. So the seeds fly off when they're ready. Oh, here we go. Boing, boing, boing. Everyone try running your kids. Run your hands. This is called paper. No poison in it. But if the seeds are ripe, when you look at this, this is a good one. Okay, try this one. Yes, it's everything we're looking at.
Bird. Why do you bird?
Oh, wait, I've just found something else. No, this is not that poultry. This is black nightshade. Okay, so all the nightshades have a flower, and this is named before electric light, so it looks like a candle with a lampshade around it. 5 petals. And the leaves are poisonous. The green berries are poisonous. The black berries are delicious. They taste like sweet tomatoes. What do you think? Deadly nightshade is a different species. This is black nightshade. That's common nightshade. These look just like tomatoes except they'll kill you. This is the same family, same flower, but totally different berry. And these are poisonous. Did you get sick? Oh, now I know what it tastes like.
Did you get one?
They're related to tomatoes, except they're poisonous. And they're related to this. Same kind of. Aren't these good? Make sure the big kids get some too.
I can't even. Which ones are they? I can't even.
The black ones.
The blackberries.
In there. Yeah, can you give him some, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
They're really good. What do you think? Do you like these? I don't even like raw tomatoes.
That does taste good.
These are more sweet and not as acidic as tomatoes.
And what are they called?
Black nightshade, because it has the candle and the lampshade around it. It's related to tomatoes.
Is tobacco on the nightshade?
Yes. Yeah, the deadliest plant in the world.
Right.
Though who knows, maybe the vaping will overtake it.
Unless it's banned entirely from the nation.
Well, then the vaping people just need to use their money and lobby for politicians that like them.
So the leaves of the green ones are poisonous, and that one, the red.
The red ones are poisonous.
Yeah, it's
And
a
then-
different species in the same family, similar flower. I love these. Has anyone ever eaten these before?
Wow.
Oh, good. I wanted to find you things you hadn't seen previously. And these just came into season a week or two ago, and you can still find them in November. It's a very invasive plant, very aggressive, and very delicious. I'm sure the birds eat the berries, and when they poop, the seeds come out, and more of it grows. And this other one is pokeweed, which will go over in the spring. So it'll take a long time to cover everything.
Sorry.
Oh, see this plant that looks a little like poison ivy? That's blackberry. That has berries in the summer. But blackberries have gotten very rare. You know why? Too much competition from the iPhone.
Oh my God.
You ever see blackberries? They have little buttons on them. So, squeezies and paint each other's faces. Your face will not grow up. Who wants to try that? Who wants to have their face painted? Or give your mom a mustache. Yes. Natural dye. Native Americans used it. Some of the founding fathers used it to sign the Declaration of Independence. And one man wore pokeweed in his hat and became president of the United States. Which president used pokeweed as his symbol?
You know he's a hit
Who
there.
used pokeweed? Yes.
No, it's not. Polk?
Yes, Pope.
There's a president?
Yes, there was a president, P-O-L-K. I'm not that good with history, but he put pokeweed in his hat. Back then in the 1800s, everyone, James Polk, and he became president thanks to pokeweed.
It was James. I couldn't remember. I was like, what's his first name?
Well,
We have a very important plant here. Now, I usually don't pick endangered species, but this one is going to become extinct no matter what. So we can pick this. It's called epazote. It's used in Mexican cooking. It comes from Mexico. Has alternate leaves. The leaves are in one. It's tiny little lacy green flowers. And smell it. It smells resinous. Like pine.
I remember my dad, he boiled that with milk. It actually like takes out
Parasites.
parasites from the
Yeah,
stomach.
but you have to be careful. Some people can't use it. Yeah, don't use it if you're a lawyer or a politician. It kills parasites. So this was in the U.S. Pharmacopoeia as an anti-parasitical before patented drugs were used. And it's used in Central America, Mexico, and neighboring countries as anti-parasitical. Where there's not good sanitation, it keeps the parasite load down enough that people don't get sick. It's wonderful in Mexican cooking. You chop up like 1 or 2 leaves, and you mix it. You mix it with avocado, garlic, lemon juice. You have the best guacamole you've ever had. Is that a nice smell? But sadly, it's about to become extinct. Yeah. Donald Trump is having his ICE agents round up every last shoot, seed, leaf, flower. He's deporting them back to Mexico, and he's going to build a wall at Mexico's expense so tall that not a single grain of pollen will ever enter the U.S. again. So it's a Mexican immigrant. Whoever wants some, help yourselves. It dries very. You don't eat this like a pot herb. You just use it in small quantities. The leaves, fresh or dried, as a seasoning, not the flowers. And this is incredible in beans.
Touch it?
So,
Touch it.
epazote, E-P-A-Z-O-T-E. Well, actually, Trump's plan is good because if you get rid of all the epazote, people are going to have to go to Mexican groceries to buy it at very high prices, and that'll stimulate the economy. Yeah, the leaves, not the flowers. And usually, if you eat a huge amount, it'll make you sick. But small amounts, used like you use parsley as a seasoning, they're especially good, fresh or dry. So it's a carminative. Someone who did not like opera thought that Carmen was giving off lots of noxious fumes when she sang, and called all herbs that are good for gas and flatulence carminative. So you put this in your bean dish. It'll flavor the beans. You have the best beans you've ever eaten, and it will stop you from getting gas. And if you listen carefully while the beans are boiling, you just might hear
I'm gonna look it up.
Olay.
Episode.
Yeah. So in
Episode.
Nicaragua, they call this bark custard. You can make tea with it. It stops you from farting.
Yeah, I think it's really. That's interesting.
I should tell my sister about this.
Yeah.
No one else wants
She always calls me parasites.
Yeah.
No. Oh, just don't tell them.
Right.
So when's
Got it.
It's very common. But it is imported from Mexico. Yeah, you only use the leaves. Okay, so this is called the grill rod, since I learned it from my dad and I taught it to my daughter. First, you shape your hands into cups like this. Then you put them together, one hand a little higher than the other, not like that, like this. Make sure you're not flat, round. Okay, when you clap, air from this hole goes into your mouth. Hold your breath up, swallow, or yawn, so that you're like you're saying to the dentist, so the air will enter. Make sure you use the other bits. Excellent. It gets you right away. It's your job to teach them. Oh, you're getting it. They have a bag. They have a burdock, a special. That's the burdock bag.
Oh no.
Yeah, be careful crossing the street. I grew up 3 blocks from here. I had a wonderful mom, but she always worried about me. Stephen, this intersection is where you're going to get killed by a car. So it's been 70 years, so it must be getting close. She thought I'd get killed. Crossing this street.
As opposed to Queens Boulevard.
Yeah, just curious.
get to a railroad overpass where there's places to sit and we'll have our lunch break. I was just going to ask, did you see the poison ivy again?
Yeah. I see it. Because I never knew you looked at it.
No, I did not.
Good to know if I go running.
Yeah. Just running all in it.
The worst thing is when one
Is it what? Here.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, a lot growing now.
These are deadly.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're called honey mushrooms. They're honey colored. They have little black hairs in the center. And they have white gills that run down the stem and a ring around the stem. And they will kill you if you're a tree. The fungus that makes the mushrooms will grow into your roots, grow into the bark. And kill you. That's the only dead trees here. And probably my honey mushrooms. For humans, they are incredibly delicious. But they often grow clustered. So honey-colored on top, little stubble in the center. If one mushroom is higher than the other, spores will fall from one to the other, and the spores are white. See the white powder on the top? So these are one of the best mushrooms in the world for humans. You saute them, they can get you sick if you eat them raw, and you eat a small amount of the first time just to make sure your stomach doesn't disagree with them. Saute them in some olive oil with garlic, salt, and pepper for 20 minutes, and they are outstanding. Who wants one? Yeah, we'll try to find more of these. They often go from tree to tree, killing one after another. Let's see if we can find.
That's why those they have
It
to cut
may
them.
be. It may have killed all the trees around here, and then they cut them down so they wouldn't fall on us. It's dead. It goes on the dead one. It makes a lot of white spores. So I have it. These are growing in Connecticut now. They're coming up in Connecticut. And my source of information was the president himself. No, not that president. The president of the Connecticut Mycological Association. He's a friend of mine. Yeah, that's poison ivy. Everyone see the poison ivy here and here? See if you can spot it before you step in.
I didn't get it as a kid. I got it as an adult.
It's poison if you eat it. And I worked with a day camp. Not a sleepaway camp in the summer. And the girls would remove 2 leaves of the 5 of the Virginia creeper and then put the 3-leaf one all over the boys' bunks. So they think that it was poison ivy. That's the biggest tree in this part of the country. The Indians would use mud and controlled fire to make canoes out of it. And this is the fruit that has the seeds for that tree. Yeah.
totally straight. I don't even have to see the leaves to know that this is a tulip tree. It's the only one that's completely straight. So you open this, get the seeds out, plant them, and wait 200 years, and you have another tree.
You're gonna have a canoe.
Okay, who sees more poison ivy?
And they use this like for boys.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Yeah, this one is more dried out, so the seeds probably come out more easily. Yeah, see, the bottom here is the seed, and these will blow away in the wind. So the Indians would put mud around the trunk, then they'd burn the bottom, and the fire wouldn't spread up to the top. Then they knock out the ashes with their stone hatchets, and then do another fire until they felled the tree. And then they'd use mud where they didn't want the fire to burn, and burn the inside to hollow it out. And again, after the fire is out, use the stone axes, and they would make a dugout canoe. So this is what the Indians use for canoe. Okay, what's in here? Poison ivy.
Let's put you for a trip again.
Yeah.
Start seeing it in advance. No, that has thorns. That's a wineberry. It has very delicious reds during the summer. But look what's behind it. Everyone see the poison ivy in there?
Yes.
You really want to right in front of, along the log. What does a plant have to do if it's going to die so next year? See if I can get the seeds already left. No, oh, yeah, here are two. Who wants to try these? See what they taste like. There's any more of this in here. Seeing more. Maybe on that. What flavor are you getting? Nothing. Actually, you probably need some seeds. Let's keep some over here. Here we go. Yeah, take the seeds out like this. Look what I'm doing. I'm pulling this. Here we go. You try a few. No, you didn't eat enough. Eat a whole bunch. Okay, I think she figured it out. Just something's happening. Wiggling her tongue?
Oh my gosh.
What could have happened?
Is it sour?
Spicy. It is mustard. This is a plant called floral mustard. Member of the mustard family that protects itself from insect bites, smelling and tasting like garlic, which is very good unless Italian insects bite.
Strong. You have to bite it a certain way.
Yeah, who didn't get any wants more?
Okay, so what you do is you get a lot of these and you give them to your friend and say, "Here, all these seeds, they're very sweet, you'll love them." That's poison ivy, and your foot is right on it. So who can find more of the seeds? Okay, look, this is what we're looking for. Dead plants with seed pods that look like needles. Because of the needles, it gives you a clue to the natural history of the plant. Anything with this many needles on it probably evolved in the South Bronx.
Jesse, come look.
Who wants to try stripping off the needles?
Try
Okay,
the seeds?
give me your hand.
Oh,
Close loosely.
hold on. So it's
Okay,
a
now
spicy.
rub those. They don't fall down.
Oh my god,
You don't want to spill your seeds, especially if you're Catholic.
strong. I just had one seed.
It's tasty, but yeah, it's like really.
Okay, you can either eat them or fool your friends. Now, commercial who likes to cook here? What do you have to do with commercial mustard seeds when you're preparing?
Oh yeah, that's very strong.
Pound them.
Grind them. These don't have to be ground. They're chewy. So you can put this in guacamole, into salads. I bake them in breads like caraway seeds. And they are very delicious. Garlic mustard. Let's see how much we can find. And then I'll show you the pictures of what it looks like at other times of the year. This has a lot of different stages to it. It's very invasive, so we should be seeing more all day. We don't see more soon, we'll stop and look at the picture. And we're starting to get close to our lunch spot. What's this in here? Okay, try to see it before you get to it. It'll save you sometime in your life. It'll save you a week of itching if you can stop poison ivy every time.
All you need to do is get it once and you never want it again. Really remember. I was like, we did like an archaeology class where we dug up a plate in college, and everyone got poison ivy. That was the first time I ever got poison
Okay,
ivy.
everyone see the poison ivy again? One of the nice things about the park is
I think it's nice I didn't see it, and I knew what poison ivy was. That's if it's got thorns on it, it's buckshot.
yeah. I have a 15-year-old daughter who learned all the birds. She knows all the plants that she grew up with, but she learned all the birds on her own. She was on yesterday's tour. Today she's with her mom. Okay, I'm going to show you the different stages of the garlic mustard. It's a biennial. So what do biennials do?
2 years. They're good for 2 years.
Okay, and what is the first year always?
The better one for the roots.
The basal rosette, where the leaves come out in a circle on the ground. And the second year, they start as a basal rosette, but then they get tall, they flower, they go to seed, and they die. So this is what garlic mustard looks like in its first year. Round leaves with a sinus or hole in it and a white root in a circle like the burdock. And this survives the winter, so you can find these in the winter. In March, you get these sprouts that look like flags, and if you crush them, they smell like garlic. Excellent in pita bread with hummus. So here's a photo of the first year plant. Keep your eyes open, he should be around. And the second year, it has a stem with alternate or single leaves. That's when it's at its best. Not at this time of year. At this time of year, it just has the leaf. This is in May. And then it has a bud. Plants that are related have similar buds and flowers. What does this bud look like that you buy in the store, but it's much bigger? What vegetable?
Lettuce.
No?
Cabbage.
That's
Broccoli,
more.
right?
Broccoli, yes. Here, this bud's for you. And then, all mustards have flowers with 4 petals shaped like a cross, showing that the mustards are a Christian family of plants. And this is what we just found, the needle-shaped pods. Who liked the mustard seeds? Yeah, I love pigs. There's a joke here. Here are the seeds after you collect them. And you can put them right into jars. They're already dried. And I'll sprinkle them on. I like spicy food. I'll sprinkle them on almost anything except desserts. Here's the plant in full flower. And here's my drawing of the first year plant with a rounder leaf and the second year plant with more pointy leaves. The seed pods are just starting to grow and the little flowers are on the top. Very invasive plant. Here's a big basal rosette first year plant, which means it has a big root. And the root is very spicy too. It tastes like horseradish or wasabi, only better. We find any of those? It's not quite fall yet, so there may or may not be food stored underground. And here's the plant in June when it's dying and the needle-shaped pods are starting to form. And one other thing about garlic mustard. Show you. Bless you. So, pass this around. Everyone, this is hard. Everyone take a corn chip, but don't eat it. You pass the bag around to get the rest. Don't eat the corn chip. Bless you. Sorry, one of my I made pesto with the leaves, so dip the chip in and try some of the pesto.
With the mustard leaves.
Yeah, with the leaves.
Oh,
Take some pesto.
And if you put that without a sealed in a plastic bag. Anyone have an extra bag? Thank you. Thank you. 4 cups garlic mustard leaves, 1 cup olive oil, basil, and parsley, quarter cup nutritional yeast, and gives it the cheesy flavor. And to give it crunch, half a teaspoon of coarse salt and 2.5 cups of walnuts. And you put that in the food process with a walnut glass.
The pesto that I made.
And this is an extremely nutritious plant, loaded with vitamins. Now, all members of the mustard family contain estrogens, which everyone got some? Which interfere with insect reproduction, and as a byproduct, they also interfere with cancer cell reproduction. So eating plants in this family lowers your lifetime risk of cancer. All members of the mustard family. A lot of wild mustards, broccoli, cabbage, collards, all in there. Thank you. So conventional chefs make very delicious, creative dishes, but they're using the same old product, often unhealthy, processed stuff and environmentally unfriendly. You like the cooks make very delicious things with wild and natural ingredients that don't harm the environment, that don't harm your health.
Well, you are the dealer.
That's how you recognize it in the winter, and it's just as effective in the winter as it is now. Poison ivy. Wow! Look at the leaf.
He's your friend?
No, that's an acorn. They're about the size of tennis balls and they're green, and they should be on the few on the ground here under the tree, and I'm not seeing them. Probably. Oh, there's one to your left. Get that one too. Okay, anyone here? Show everyone so they know what to look for.
There's one there.
This is what we're looking for. Who sees more?
Got one. Oh, there's another one back there. There's one more behind you, behind you.
Yeah,
there.
this one, I'll go, you go get it.
We'll get it back.
Yeah, the nut doesn't fall far from the tree.
Oh, you got one.
Okay, I'll show you what you do.
I at least saw them, so I know what I didn't have to go and
This is
grab one.
ivy.
So what is
Middle
this?
leaf doesn't have the stem.
Oh, okay.
This is homewort. You can eat it. It tastes like parsley, celery, and carrots. Try it. Homewort. Yeah, hone means sharpen. See how sharp the edges are?
This?
Yes.
I can eat it,
And they're
right?
shiny underneath.
You're right. There's no
Can I
stem.
take-
Yeah. It's honewort. Wort is an old name for a plant. Hone means sharpen, and if you look at the edge of the leaves, they're very sharp.
Okay.
So put this in the pesto instead of the parsley. It's gonna be even better. Honewort. Wort, W-O-R-T, is an old word for plant. Hone means sharpen, like hone a knife.
Honeywood.
So if you look at the edge, it has very sharp teeth. Isn't that good?
It is fresh, yeah.
This is the one,
Oh, there you go.
the 3-leaf one right
Yes. 3
Oh.
leaves, but with teeth, and the middle leaf doesn't have the stem. And she'll turn them upside down. You'll see they're shiny underneath.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Horn?
W-O-R-T,
Mm.
honewort. Hone means sharpen, and wort means plant. That's it. Try it. Do you like parsley? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, me too. And it cures bad breath. Okay, watch what I do with a walnut. First, you put it on the ground where it's flat, otherwise it rolls away. Then, you stomp on it to remove the husk. This protects it from the squirrels, and you get the nut. Again, I want to go where it's as flat as possible. Smash it open. Remove the black and try the white part. Who wants to try it? Here, take the white. What do you think of the flavor? To me, it tastes like walnut, mushrooms, and wine.
First remove it.
What do you think? Good or terrible?
Do you want to step on?
You want to try it? Let's try it.
It's like a regular walnut. Raw.
Stronger flavor. If you can dig this out.
Oh, I can see what you mean about the wines.
Hmm?
I can see what you mean about the wines.
I get a little bit of mushroom flavor too.
Oh!
When you're finished, put the rocks back on the side because there are bicycle riders going through here. What do you think of the flavor?
I can't. Let me see.
Yeah, you gotta split it in half again.
Yeah. Oh.
Or get a nut stick. Or a pocket knife.
Oh, there we go.
More intense.
It's pleasant though. It's
Oh yeah.
Something about it.
I don't remember cheese.
Yeah.
That's maybe the fungi, like the.
Yeah, so what you do when you collect a lot of these, remove the husk because there are larvae in the husk that will drill through the nut shell. So you remove the husk, you can put the walnuts in a paper bag, like a supermarket shopping bag, and leave them for a few weeks. The nuts dry out, they last forever, and they taste even better than they taste now. Not that they're not delicious now. And you can crack them open at your leisure any time in the winter. And you can use 1 part black walnut and 3 parts commercial walnuts, and all you take is black walnuts. Yeah, and this is loaded with minerals and essential fatty acids.
does taste good. But, I just need to. Maybe you can grind it up and use it instead of using it. Maybe, I don't know. It tastes like cheese. That's what I kind of used to.
Well, that's
So if you're collecting a lot of work with black walnuts, you just get rubber gloves. Well, you signed the consent. Okay, so. Any comments on the flavor? I love these.
Yeah, at first it doesn't hit that at all, but then the more you do it, it's better.
acquired taste.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at
So here's the latest thing I made with black walnut. I made black walnut and banana cookies. I think I used half a cup in a couple of dozen cookies. Well, I could make the cookies. Yeah. Put them in raw. You should taste the black walnut flavor that you just tasted, and you should taste the banana.
Do you want to throw this away or?
You can take it. Shots on today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, can I try a little bit of it?
Since 1990. Vegan, all whole foods, nothing refined, and I exercise almost every day. I get a mile in the pool before coming out here, and about 70 minutes of combined hatha yoga, light weights, and a few calisthenics.
That's a recipe for a long, healthy life.
Yeah, my only health problem I cannot get rid of is an incurable case of CCD, compulsive cooking disorder.
And compulsive foraging, right?
Yes.
Oh, I do have a plastic bag.
I can taste the stevia.
And, yeah, he's using stevia and everything. You can't eat much of it. He's not there. I think some of these walnuts. Do you see any more of them? Oh, I see that. It's like half of one. Yeah, that's like.
Leaves that look like feathers coming out of the bird. So that's black walnut. And then you can stomp on them way after the
Those have already been stomped on.
Oh, after you leave them in a bag for a few weeks, they won't stain your hands either. Take off the husk. That you want to get off like today or tomorrow, because there are insect larvae in the husk, and they eventually will nut shell. Now, when you come here in
Okay, October. But we're going to be gone through most of October.
Yeah.
I think they're better than any nuts you can buy. Again, you can make your own decision. That's because they haven't dried out. When you let them dry out, they become more of the texture of the nuts you buy. I'm remove the husk, put them in a paper shopping bag, leave them for a couple weeks. And once they're dry to the touch and don't stain your fingers, then they're dry. So there is the tree. And this is just the first nut. There'll be a million more. They're green, so they're hard to spot. Okay, where we're gonna have lunch, there's more black walnuts and there's some on the other side too. Oh, actually, I want to show you the pictures so you can recognize this at different times of the year. Yeah, the essential fatty acids, linoleic and linoleic acid, they're good for the immune system and they reduce your risk of heart disease. It's an extremely healthy nut. And they're free. They're native to this part of the world. And you sometimes find them on the streets. And when I lived in Briarwood, there was one on Hoover Avenue. Okay, so this is a feather compound leaf, one leaf divided into segments or leaflets like the tail of a bird. So this is, yeah, take a look. Okay, people do rituals here. Santeria religion that involves coconuts and cutting the head off a chicken so you get the energy of the chicken. I don't think the chickens like that religion. No. Yeah.
It's kind of a different ritual.
You sacrifice the animal and you get the magical energy of the animal. So you can be as scared as a chicken or as irritable as a goat.
Don't try it at home.
Yeah. I don't like to criticize people's religions, but I love animals and I don't like them being hurt. So one leaf, like the tail of a bird with feathers, called a feather compound leaf. Poison ivy has a palmate compound leaf, like the palm of your hand with 3 fingers coming at it. But those are strategies, survival mechanisms to deal with the wind. So, where are the windiest parts of the planet and where are the least windy parts? Yeah, if you're near the North or South Pole, the explorers kept getting killed thousands of years ago in wooden sailing ships trying to go near the Arctic or near Antarctica because of the vicious storms. And along the equator, you may have downpours, but you don't have these strong winds. So the further north you go, the more compound or divided and toothed leaves you have to deal with the wind. When you go to a rainforest in the near the equator, you can get gigantic leaves because they're not being torn off by the wind. So if you're a paleontologist and you dig up sediments from thousands or millions of years ago, and you have lots of compound leaves, where do you think the continent had drifted? Either far north or far south. If you dig something up and the leaves are all huge, the continents move, the continent would have been closer to the equator. So that's one of the truths that paleontologists use to help determine where different land masses had been in the past. So here's a photo of the black walnut in the tree. These are the female flowers. The bottom, everyone look, is called the ovary, and the top that looks like bunny ears is the stigma. Pollen lands on the stigma, grows into the ovary, and the ovary becomes the walnut. This is what it looks like in the spring. And there is the walnut with a husk, and there's the whole tree. And in the winter, it has these angled branches that look mean and nasty, like when Snow White was running through the forest and the trees were red. Doesn't it look like a scary looking tree? And this is a black walnut cracker. You can get these online, and they're really good for cracking open the walnuts. Otherwise, you use a rock or a hammer or a vise, but this is really good. And when they're not in season, you can use it for S&M. And these are the male flowers. They produce the pollen, and then they disappear. They fall off once their job is done. The female flowers turn into the walnuts. And there's the nut meat. When you crack it open with a nut cracker, you get big pieces. The Black Walnut Forest Park is one of the best parks, but you sometimes find them growing on the streets in Queens. And they're in forests plants throughout the Northeast. This is just the tip of the season. October, you can easily come home with the ears of the farm.
Hey, it's a squirrel.
Here, let me give you a card. Oh, what do we have on the side here?
Mustard seeds.
Yeah, mustard seeds. And these are the basil leaves.
Next time you come to the full, you
No.
have to-
This isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants some mustard seeds? Go get them.
We are eating the bark. We are eating the bark.
Yeah, get the seeds out. Don't let them fall on the ground.
I understand foraging. You're looking for things that is edible.
Yeah.
That's the mustard seed?
Yeah.
Rub your hands together.
This is the mustard seed also?
Well, I'm not sure. I cannot be saying things I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess you're following it.
I tasted it. It tasted like mustard.
There we go.
And this one?
See where they are.
I'm having a hard time with it.
You want to get it?
Oh, I see. Like this. Oh no, I keep falling down.
Mustard, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I don't care. I already tasted them already.
Oh, let me put it on Lola. No, not Lola.
I went to school at TS 99 up that way. No nature, no science. Not until the Sputnik went into space and we were afraid the Russians would be smarter than us that they taught any science at all. My first science class was in 7th
We
grade.
need more for that thing. Let him eat the whole
Very-
thing.
It's still very bad. There's too much emphasis on technology. Oh, who has some walnuts in the hut? I'll tell you a story about them. Does anyone? I need 2. 2 walnuts for the story. I need 1 more walnut. Okay. So this is a story that goes back to ancient Greece. There were 2 travelers. They couldn't find a place to stay. Everywhere they wanted to stay, they would get very important. Because you couldn't do business if travelers had nowhere to stay. But everyone told these 2 travelers, "You're not staying in my house. You're homeless? I don't want a homeless person in my house. Go away. Go on the street." So the travelers went to the palace of the king. The king was a good guy. He knew you're supposed to be hospitable. And he gave the travelers a room and beds and food. The next day they revealed that they were Zeus and Apollo traveling in disguise. And in thanks, they gave the king's 3 daughters the gift of prophecy. They could tell the future as long as they used their powers for good. If they used their powers for evil, bad things would befall. Well, everything went well. The daughters helped the kingdom a lot by predicting floods or armies coming in the area, or droughts. Made the country much better. Until one day the youngest daughter, Caria, became romantically involved with Bacchus, the god of wine and drink. And they were going to meet and had a hot date. But the older sisters found out, and they were jealous. They used their magical powers to determine where the 2 were going to meet, and they gave both of them wrong directions. So one went one way, and the other went to another place, and the other one never showed up. And they were really upset. And what did Bacchus, the god of wine and drink, do when he thought he'd been stood up? What would the god of wine and drink do?
Drink.
He got very, very, very drunk. And then he found out the truth that he had been fooled, fake news of ancient times. And he hurled forth his magic powers in a drunken rage and turned the two older sisters into stones. And the younger sister, Carria, became a beautiful walnut tree that lived for hundreds of years and produced delicious walnuts that the people used from then on to enhance the power of love.
What happened to the other sister?
They turned into stones.
Oh, right. Okay.
The walnuts had
Oh,
been
the
ever
one turned
since.
into the nice walnut tree?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bad ones had turned into stones. The walnuts were used to enhance
The power of
the
love.
power of love. Okay, so who were these?
See if I can find me
We're gonna keep going. We're almost up to our lunch spot. Okay, so how do we know it's a bush and not a tree? Wasn't missing? Trunk. So, you know what it's called when each leaf is single? Alternate leaves. So each leaf is alone. Now that makes them lonely. And they're so lonely, they're shaped like teardrops. Wah, wah. Now watch what happens. You take the leaves and crush them and smell them. They smell good. You pour boiling water over. Wait, don't do anything yet. Let me finish telling you about it. You pour boiling water over the leaves, and it makes a wonderful tea that the Native Americans used for fever. Fever used to be thought of as a disease, but it's a symptom. We don't know which infectious diseases this may or may not help. But some of the trees, bushes, also have these berries. This is my favorite culinary season. You tear the berry and smell it. It has an incredible smell. You chop this up, a few of these in a blender with some stewed apples. You have the best applesauce you've ever had. I put this into cookies. I put this into breads. Yeah.
What is it? Is it again?
Common spice bush. It's native. And come in here closely. I want to
Oh,
show you the bark.
has an
of
interesting
the tree.
smell.
I did a tour for a summer camp, a science camp called Moore's Explorers. And a 5-year-old girl, you look closely, told me this gray bark with a white spot looks like a food you buy from a street vendor in Manhattan. What food is covered with white spots like this? Pretzel. 5-year-old girl showed me up. Now I have to use her description because it's so good all the time. And to make things worse, when we stopped for lunch, one of the kids beat me in chess. Never lived that down. So when you pick from the spice bush, be very careful not to bump into one of the spice girls. In the winter, you can use the twigs for tea. Now you can use the leaves. And I'm going to get anyone who isn't cooking who wants to help me get some berries. I freeze these and I use these in almost everything. Yeah.
And we can eat them like that too, right?
Yeah. Common spice bush. Lindera benzone. It's a native species. And again, I absolutely love these berries. They're too strong to eat. It's like eating garlic, but you put them in both. Main courses. Yeah, they're very strong.
Can you make the tea with berries
It's
or
nutty.
no leaves?
You can use, it's a waste to use the berries for tea. So use the leaves for tea. The berries will make the
Someone's been
tea.
eating these already.
But I definitely need more of these. My supply is running
It smells
out.
very strong already, so I just was,
Yeah, I did.
I was afraid to
Freeze the
put it in my
berries,
mouth.
And then grind them up when you're ready to use them.
You
And
grind
if
them
you
up.
freeze them on a cookie sheet or tray, then they won't stick together. Then you can put them in your food container.
Yeah. Do you want to collect any or no? Or no?
Yeah, when they're red. September is the season.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with them. I'm not really sure what to do with these.
Yeah, that should be fine. Use the whole berry, the outside and the inside. Ground up. Yeah. Because you grind it up.
Poor tree, we love it too much.
It's not a tree, it's a bush.
Oh, bush, sorry.
Yeah, look, no trunk. Isn't that a wonderful smell? Oh, and if you make tea with the leaves, you have to use them fresh. They lose their flavor dried. That's why they don't sell spice berry tea in the health food stores or herb stores.
I wonder what it tastes like.
It's a little similar to the smell.
Sounds like I would wish.
I mean, the.
Do you smell the leaves? The tea
Oh.
has the same. The tea has the same.
Do you like
flavor.
that?
I like it, but I don't know. I mean, you make it for flavor. The tea.
Yeah.
I'm curious about like what the
What it does.
what it would
Yeah.
what it,
Yeah, so this it would be interesting if any of you kids grow up to be scientists, test the tea with different disease organisms, bacteria, cells infected with viruses, and see if it kills anything. Never been tested yet.
Stop putting it on my head.
It's for reducing fever, which means
For a cup of tea.
does it kill the virus or does it
For a
reduce your
cup
fever?
of tea, I'd
reduces your
probably
fever,
use,
Yeah, so you don't know if
for
it
one
kills
cup,
anything.
this should be enough. But if you use more, then you can always dilute it. It's better to make a tea that's too strong than too weak, because then you can just dilute it. Here are more of the garlic mustard seeds,
Garlic mustard seeds. Yeah.
right in front of you.
I need all this. Mama. I need all this.
Definitely one of my all-time favorites. Get all the berries. We're gonna go and have our lunch break. Okay, let me show you the pictures of this. This definitely looks different at different times of the year.
Oh,
Yeah, get the seeds out as soon as you can because they'll just fall out on the ground. Get a bag first.
yeah. We fed bubbles.
Yeah, I visited the place maybe at 13, 14.
Okay, one other
Yes,
thing.
Steve.
Let's see who can tell me. Quiz. How are the leaves different from each other? No, a lot of things have alternate leaves. Look at the leaves and compare them to each other. How are they different? Different sizes. Everyone see that? Look at anything else around here. The leaves are all the same size. It has different size leaves. Now this is my painting of the spice bush right around now. The leaves are turning yellow and there are the berries. Here, take a look. Does this look like watercolor pencil? So here it is in the spring. Look, has beautiful yellow flowers in April. They come up before the leaves appear. Here's a close-up of the flower. Yeah, beautiful yellow flowers, and this is native. That's why the Native American. Here's the bark that looks like a pretzel with salt. And here's a photo of the berries. And these are the buds in the winter. They're clustered, they're small and round. And if you snap the twig in the winter and you smell the same thing you're smelling now, you know you have the spice bush. Plus you have the pretzel look on the bark.
So it's good for reducing fever.
Well, fever can be caused by any number of microorganisms, so it hasn't been tested for diphtheria or strep throat or all the different infectious diseases. So it needs to be tested to know which disease it may or may not affect. So that's what the Native Americans did, which means it should obviously be tested to see what kind of antimicrobial effect it could have. That's why we have kids, so some of them can grow up to be scientists and do the tests. Oh, there's more. Okay, a little like allspice too. Definitely has that citronella overtone. like there's like strands of dark rope hanging down from it. See how the ridges look ropey?
Yeah. Would you like a bag?
Yeah. The what? Yeah, the Native Americans used the husk to dye their clothing. Yeah. Yeah, this suggested donation. Okay, everyone stop here. Okay, I used to live in Kew Gardens. And one day I bicycled through the park, all the way to the other side, Woodhaven Boulevard, where there are chess tables. And when I was 16, I learned to play chess. And I'd come here every weekend and play chess. So one day I'm bicycling back, and see that railing straight ahead? As I was coming this way past the railing, I was 16, there were teenagers there, 17, 18, 19 years old, sitting there with bicycles, and because they had nothing else to do, and there were more of them than there was of me, they attacked me. That was how they had fun. There were some bullies that lived in Queens that were my age. There's one sort of world famous. Oh, Donald Trump. Yeah, he lived in Queens and was well known as a bully. He was a kid, like a few years older than me. So one of them grabbed my bike and tried to shake me off so we could all have fun beating me up. I was scared to death, even though it was going uphill. I pedaled as hard as I could, and I just barely managed to shake the kid off my bike. But the other kids were like 2, 3 years older than me and much bigger and stronger than me were getting on their bikes to chase me. And there was no doubt they would catch up to me. I was scared to death, came up the hill, went around the corner, I had a little bit of head start. What did I do after I went around the corner? What would you do?
Hide in the bushes.
Very close.
Grab the walnuts.
I made a right through the bushes. You just heard a car. There's a street there. I went that way, through the bushes, dropped my bike off the stone wall, jumped down after it, and went that way, and they all went right past me. If you see any 75-year-old men with really long, ragged beards, with torn clothes, and rusty old bikes, where did he go? Where is he? We're going to get... Don't tell him.
Of course we won't say that. We will tell them.
Well, anyway, they're gone, so we can sit on the rail there and have our lunch break. What's over here? And what's over here?
Mustard.
The garlic mustard. See, yeah, anyone wants some more? There they are.
Others.
Once you've eaten them, you'll always wish you had more. Especially if you like spicy food. Okay, so we're going to sit on the rail there. There's a black walnut tree. If one falls on your head, you sign the consent form.
That will be
But
a
you
good
can-
luck.
Yes, but you can look on the other side of the railing. There could be black walnuts on the ground. Everyone see the black walnut tree leaning over the street?
Yeah. So, Steve,
Yeah.
many years ago, it was the same road.
Oh yeah, this is the
Right?
same since before I was born.
There was like rock or winter here.
No, it will look just like this.
Just like that.
But it didn't have those reflectors. See, the reflectors low lights that the man became a millionaire. He just had to think of what this angle is, and he used mathematics to figure out that whether the car was close or far from this angle, the headlight reflects right back at the driver, so the driver sees this whole strip lit up and makes it much safer to drive. It probably saved people's lives too.
Both ways.
Yeah, so he deserved to get rich.
And why did you bring me on this?
Anyone who wants to look at my after and lunch may do so, unless there's someone brave here who wants to take me on in chess. Okay, you're on. Oh, here's the first year garlic mustard.
Oh, okay. It has like a, looks like a fan.
Yeah, it's a round leaf with a sinus here and scalloped edge. Here, see if you smell the garlic. Yes, they're a little bitter, so I mainly just put them into pesto. The first year garlic. Smell the garlic? Oh, you like spicy food? Wash this root off and eat it. Tastes like wasabi. Get some water and wash it off.
I want to try that.
The larger rosettes have the biggest roots. If it's washed off, yes, it's spicy.
Again, I want it.
Don't eat the dirt.
You get arrested in Central Park.
You smell the horseradish? Yeah, here, look. Smell. You smell the horseradish. Yeah, later in the fall, the roots get much bigger.
What's the name of it?
Garlic mustard, the same one we're eating the seeds from.
Oh, that's the one that brought the seeds?
Yes, yes.
When it dries up?
Yeah, and that's the baby.
You want it?
So when are you going to be in this park again?
I'm not sure. You just have to look at my schedule on my website. Oh, yeah, you didn't see this at the beginning.
November the 3rd, I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I saw that date before I saw this date.
Yeah, so call me at least 24 hours ahead of time. Next weekend, I have one tour in Connecticut and one in Central Park.
I would like to come to the Central Park.
Yeah, different things. Wild coffee.
Mama.
Garlic mustard, it's very common.
Yes.
It's all over.
The Farm Museum, they had one yesterday, but I didn't go.
What do they have?
They have a foraging.
Where?
You know the Queen's Museum, the
Really?
Queen's Farm
Queen's Farm.
Museum.
Interesting.
Little Lake Parkway.
I know where they, I worked with them a few times, but
Lower Park?
we didn't get good turnouts.
Oh, it was small.
Yeah, anywhere in Queens that's not on the subway line, I get poor turnouts. Otherwise, I do Alley Pond,
But the bus is
Cunningham, and
good.
Casino.
The
Yeah, but
246
people
is
don't
good.
take it.
They don't take it. The 246 is very good. I wanted to come to both yesterday and today, but I just went out yesterday.
And what's the name of that again?
Honewort. Hone, H-O-N-E-W-O-R-T.
want to become a vegan, but I'm anemic.
Oh, the leafy green vegetables have lots of iron.
All the leafy ones?
Yes,
Raw or cooked?
both. Yeah, iron isn't destroyed by heat, it's a mineral.
Oh,
You'd need a nuclear reaction to destroy iron.
oh my God. I like your imagery. I find it awful, like to slaughter animals. I find it awful. Oh. In my neighborhood, they have a live animal thing.
That's where I went in Jamaica,
Not bad.
Archer Avenue or Sutton Boulevard, and I just thought it was better that the animals are free range than in little coops. So I lived in Queens, I went to the slaughterhouse. They took a chicken and cut its throat and put it upside down in a highway cone and let it bleed out and kicking its teeth. Horrible.
Hot water, and then
Absolutely
that
horrible.
machine, pluck the feathers.
You want banana?
But then someone else ordered a rabbit, and they did the same thing to the bunny. Then I became a vegan.
I find it awful, But my nutritionist said that I have to eat meat so that you are anemic.
No, you can take supplements too.
Oh, like iron?
Iron, yeah.
Intake iron and also B complex.
Complex?
Yeah, because if you don't eat properly, you're gonna miss that.
Yeah, I'm anemic.
Yeah, the meat increases your risk of heart disease.
Excuse me?
The meat increases your risk of
Well,
heart
meat
disease.
is horrible, Not only it looks ugly like when they slaughter them, but eating it, you know that you are eating something that was alive.
And I had feelings.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
mean-
eat fish?
I'm still gonna
I
buy
eat it,
beef.
but yeah, I just don't. Since I was a child, I never
trying to
liked
reduce my
meat. Animals, I love animals, But my
Yeah, me
nutritionist
too.
said I have to
So I'm
eat,
gonna eat.
meat,
That's
because
fine.
I'm anemic. But I find it
She didn't
ugly.
tell you well. She should tell you what you miss so that you can
I
replace
think
it.
that's why I didn't
You know,
vote
I'm
all these
70 and I'm completely healthy. I've outlived 5 out of 6 members of my parents' and grandparents' generation who were not healthy before they died.
I'm still gonna eat meat.
Meat is horrible. And then on top of that, people
It's
who
gonna be
love
very,
meat, they smoke and they drink. So all this combined, how could the person be healthy?
Oh, I brought this bag so I could use that trash can.
Tobacco and alcohol.
I'll
So,
just trash can it away.
because they choose what they feel like is the reality while they are on the planet.
They do what they want to
Yeah,
do.
you have to eat it once a week.
That's
Which is not
correct.
good for them.
But they really don't care because they enjoy
Meat is
that
very
instantaneous thought.
If you talk to them, you will reinforce them to do it more. Do it. Look at just smoking. Smoking, like see how, like someone smoked very far, like before the street matter. And I feel my lungs, Yeah, it hurts, And they do it,
Can't stand smoke either. Well, it's not everything. I mean, once in a while there's something like yesterday we found Szechuan pepper in Prospect Park, and that's the only park you get it. But most of the things that we're finding today, you'll find everywhere.
It's very common.
That's an overgrown
Non, moi,
field.
mon frère nous t'ai mangé ça, oui. Ça c'est...
Yeah.
Ok.
Season 1 garlic.
One piece. No, not one.
Probably
I'll tell
Prospect
you
Park
the
is the
name.
best place for that. I know a lot of good places for it.
I'm kind of.
And there's some in Central Park too.
It's
It's a little too shady here for
mustard seed.
Amaranth.
Well, it's only like 30 minutes up to the.
That's
to
the garlic mustard.
I'd like to go in small.
Okay, so did you pay me for it? All right, you can pay for it now, plus a couple more dollars for postage, and give me your address, and I'll mail it to you. Or just email me the info, and I'll go to the post office in a couple of days. Probably $3 for postage. Excuse me? Well, we want to be back at 3:45.
So
Continue down the trail, and then turn around. Have enough time to get back on time. Yeah. Where are you guys going? What event do you have?
Well, it looks like we're going to end up back where we were.
yeah.
You want to eat?
I didn't think about that as snacks.
Not tacos.
I was gonna get halal on
Halal.
the way back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I might go.
There's a different guy at the cart, so
Maybe I'll stop at. I might stop at Subway or something like that.
Okay, we're going to continue.
is somebody okay for you now?
Subway, I can get a vegetable sandwich.
We don't have too much time left.
No, I wanted to try this one to see if there was something wrong with the one at work.
Because you were saying when then you guys started.
Yeah.
So who knows? What was the thing called for the parasite? Do you remember?
With the what?
The
Parasite?
weed.
You mean that common spice bush?
No, it was before the common spice bush. It was the Mexican plant that he could make into stuff.
Oh yeah, the antiparasitic.
Yeah.
What about it?
I wanted to remember.
I have it.
You have
Everything.
Oh, who wants a big garlic mustard root that tastes like horseradish? This is the one. See how big it is? Get it from the bottom and see if you can pull the root out. Grab the root.
I think she did.
Oh, the root wasn't as big as I thought. That's a better one. Smell it. You smell the horseradish. In the fall, the roots get really big and they'll really burn your friend's mouth. Who smells it? Did everyone get to smell the garlic mustard root? Oh, what's growing on the side? Wait. What's
my goodness.
Poison ivy.
Yeah. You have to
Kids are
look
gonna have
first and make sure you see where the poison ivy. Yeah. Again, if you come on the tour at the start, then I can go into a little bit deeper.
Yeah, boy, don't climb in there. You make me nervous. There's a lot of poison ivy here.
These are beautiful trails, but I had my adventures here too. When I was about, how old are you?
14.
Okay, when I was 14, they have stables on the other end of the park. And I was a good enough horseback rider. They knew that they let me go up on myself. And I always asked for Pat. He was the biggest horse in the stable and the most wild. So one day I was going down this trail way at the other end. We're not going to get that far. And the trail ended and Pat stopped. And guess what happened to me? I flew right over his shoulder. Now, Pat was the happiest horse in the world because the horses are not allowed to gnaw the bark off the trees and kill the trees and eat all the leaves. But since I was not on Pat anymore, that's exactly what he did. Now, I had 1 hour before the horse had to be back in the stable for the whole ride. Say a certain amount and you have the horse turn out. And I had to get back in time before the people in the stable would be really mad at me. They might not let me go out on my own again. So I chased Pat. And Pat saw me coming. And guess what he did? He ran away. Who's faster, a 14-year-old boy? Now I was really worried. I was going to get in so much trouble. What do you think I did? Pat. This is what I did.
This is how you move towards
I
Kat.
got him! I went so slowly, he didn't notice me sneaking up on him. You're right when you said sneak up. Moved so slowly, he did not notice it. And I was still late and they yelled at me. But if you ever go to the Parkside Riding Academy on the other side of the park off Union Turnpike, don't tell them what happened. It's only been 55 years. They're probably still not getting It's a native plant and it likes the part sun, part shaded habitat.
They used to allow horses to ride in Central Park. Yeah. You could rent a horse and ride through the private trail area.
You saw a chipmunk. Maybe you
They
saw a
got rolled on,
chipmunk.
the horse rolled on.
You saw a chipmunk? You saw a chipmunk?
What's the dog's name?
Hubert.
Come here, Hubert.
Hi, Hubert.
Very friendly.
Hi, Hubert.
And watch out, poison ivy right here.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Right there. There's a lot of poison ivy here.
Yeah.
Milo, por favor. Para.
No, this is a little too overgrown. Maybe around that way. Let's go around this way.
Careful.
This is called a black birch, but what color is the bark? Gray. And is it rough or smooth? Does it have any markings on it? What? Which way?
This way.
Yeah, horizontal. Okay, now I want to get the twigs. You can someone grab this branch when I pull it down? There, okay. So, the leaves can be in twos like this, or they can be single. And what you want to do is remove the leaves, which are good to eat if you're a goat. Break the twigs and chew them like chewing gum. Who wants to try this? This is what the Native Americans used for chewing gum. Here, can you break off some pieces and pass them out?
Give me one.
What is that tree?
Black birch, Betula lenta. Here, break off some pieces. You stick. Let's see you have good taste and you can tell me what it tastes like. No. Mint is close.
Oh, sure.
Nope.
Thank you.
It's not in the mint family. The flavor isn't in the mint family. Yeah, chew. Not
Tastes
the
like that
leaves, just,
gum. Like that.
Which gum? One gum has this flavor.
Yeah, is it that spear? What's
No, not
the-
spearmint.
No. Why did I say that?
I mean, I absolutely know what it is, but I just can't. I know what it's called.
No, it's not a mint. There's one gum that has this flavor, and there's one lifesaver that has this flavor.
It's like
The
is
green
it the flat one?
It's lemon.
Because I
No.
eat this gum, used to all the gum all the
I
time.
used to eat that mint. Was it?
It's not a mint.
It does taste like mint though.
Yeah,
It's sweet, but it's not mint.
It tastes like Pepto-Bismol actually.
it does. Yeah.
Wintergreen. Yes, wintergreen.
Oh, yeah.
Winter fresh
wintergreen.
gum has
Mm,
this
winter.
flavor, and so does the green lifesaver.
If they go,
Mm.
Do you like it?
I
So,
love the green lights.
Here's what you do with it. You get some twigs. You pour a boiling water. Not while it's in your hand. Put it into a pot. You pour boiling water over it. Cover it and let it sit in the hot water for 20 minutes. Then you take a strainer and you strain it out and you drink the tea. And it's a delicious tea. So, the chemical name of oil of wintergreen is methyl salicylate. Anyone know what kind of medicine a salicylate is?
Aspirin.
Aspirin. This is low-dose aspirin. It is anti-inflammatory.
Oh, this is
What
the same
else do
tree
they use
from
aspirin for? In
Pain
addition
relief.
to pain.
Blood thinner.
Blood thinner. It reduces your risk of heart disease.
This is the
So
same
it's-
tree that's
you get
from.
as many twigs as you want.
Where were we
Dry
at? Van
ones
Cortlandt
you're
Park?
not going to use. These
Okay.
trees
That's where
are
we
all
were.
over the park. Someone has a stick, they can lower the ones over there and everyone can get some more. And unfortunately, this opened in my lunchbox. I made a tapioca pudding flavored with black birch, raisins, freshly grated lemon rind, and vanilla and fresh vanilla bean. And it made a really nice stick pudding. And then you remove the sticks after you've cooked the pudding. So if anyone could get a stick, lower the branches, you can get more of this. It dries quite well too. And I'm going to show you some pictures because there's another use for it. It can even make kids rich. Well, let me show you the pictures first. Here you go.
Excuse me, does anyone want some mushrooms from before? Probably not going to take it back. My boyfriend's not interested. I don't want to eat it by myself.
Okay, whoever wants the honey mushrooms, you're gonna love them. Okay, so here's my drawing of the leaves. Take a look. Here are catkins. These create
taking notes?
pollen in the spring and give a lot of people allergies.
Julia, get down.
Here is the bud that helps you recognize it in the winter. This is in season all year, so even in the winter, you see the smooth gray bark with the horizontal lines. You break the twig, you smell the wintergreen, you know you have the right thing. These are the female flowers. So, yeah, and this is within reach. from that side. And don't step around, go around the poison ivy. Blackbirch. Yeah, that's the multiflora rose. It has edible rose hips, but they're very seedy. The best roses to get are the big fat ones called the wrinkled rose that grow by the seashore. We'll be getting those on my marine park tour in November. So look, the flowers turn into cones. There might even be some cones up in the trees. It's not a pine, but it has cones.
Scott, there's a loose branch. Don't shake it. There's a branch that
Okay,
can
so
fall.
here's the smooth gray bark that you all saw. Now, my question is, why did I give this to my daughter Violet when she was 1?
Is it for teething?
Teething. Okay, kids, this is how you get rich. You convince your parents to get a baby brother or baby sister. You get a lot of the black birch twigs and you hide them. Throw away the leaves, the twigs dry, and they last forever. Hide them. When the baby is 1 year old, getting new teeth and crying and screaming, and your parents can't sleep, you sell them the black birch twigs. You get a lot of money, your parents get a good night's sleep, and the baby stops crying, so everyone wins. So this is my daughter. She's 15 when she was 1, and she got new teeth. This is what I gave her, and it always worked.
You chewed it, right?
Yeah, she chewed on the twig. Yeah, she co-leads my tours now. Since she was 9, my only problem with her is she finds all the mushrooms and plants faster than I do, and she steals all my jokes.
So is that the corn you're talking about that's growing?
This is the bud.
The bud?
Yeah.
And the leaves are good for anything?
Yeah, they're delicious if you're a goat.
Ah, okay.
So my daughter and I got a phone call from a farm in Bethlehem, Connecticut a few years ago, and their goats were dying. And the vet suspected poisoning, but he didn't know what it could be. So they hired us. We went up to the farm, 2 hours. They paid us well, nice farmers. This plant isn't poisonous. This one is actually good to eat. This one is as tasteless as my jokes. Every plant wasn't poisonous. The 2 hours were almost up. The last plant at the last minute of the 2 hours was the common elderberry bush with leaves stripped off, and elderberry leaves contain cyanide. Goats can eat lots of things, but not cyanide. Before the words were out of my mouth, the farmers had ripped that bush out of the ground, brought it over to an area behind the fence, replanted and closed the fence so no goat would ever get poisoned again. And the whole tour, the goats were following us, and they were friendly. We were like puppies. I didn't know big goats like this. They were affectionate, and every time my daughter pulled down the leaves of the black birch, the goats would come and eat the leaves. And when they couldn't reach the leaves, they literally climbed on her shoulder and on her head to get to more leaves. It was the happiest day of her life and the happiest day of the goats' lives. And the farmers were happy too. Okay, so anyone who wants some more black birch, here it is.
And the native American, they use it for good breath.
It's for pain and inflammation. Break it backwards. Yeah, up, not down. See? Pull up. It comes off much easier. Yeah, it's used for pain and inflammation, and the tea lowers your risk of heart disease. Common elderberry. Yeah. Who is your enemy?
Nobody.
Was your mother was a hamster, your father stink of elderberries?
The berries you can eat,
Definitely
not
Python.
the leaves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even if you're a goat.
Elderberry's supposed to be very
You
good
chew
for
it like chewing gum, or you pour boiling water over it, let it sit and make tea. Or you simmer a cup of black birch twigs in 7 cups of non-dairy milk, 1 cup of raisins, a tablespoon of liquid stevia, 2 teaspoons of freshly grated lemon rind, and a stick of vanilla bean, a dash of salt. For 15 minutes, stir often, tapioca burns, and then use tongs and remove the black birch and the vanilla, and you have a very delicious pudding. I had in my backpack in my lunchbox, the thing opened and just spilled all over. Let's go a little further, then we're going to have to turn around.
While you're eating that.
Maine's mushroom, it doesn't necessarily, more on oak.
Oh, it's on the oak, okay.
So you're thinking of the chaga mushroom, which grows on white dirt. Yeah, it doesn't grow this far south. The last time we found chaga was on the Appalachian Trail in fall. Did I do this?
Maybe. She goes to 154. Do you remember that? She's like, I know him. I'm like, you do?
Tell them to have me back.
154. We're gonna ask.
About
Okay.
nature.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, see this hole in the earth? This was made in the Ice Age by the glaciers. They were mountains of ice, and they break off rocks anywhere they went, and they scour out the earth. And when the Ice Age ended, there was a block of ice in here that lasted for hundreds of years before it melted. And then there was a pond here, and every year in the fall, leaves would fall into the pond and slowly over thousands of years fill it up. So the end of the Ice Age is probably twice as deep. I'm not an expert in geology, so I can't be as precise as I would like to. And every year in the fall, more leaves fall in here, and it fills up a little more. So in another 5,000 years, this will probably be totally level with the rest of the pond. If not, I'll give you back your money. It's called a kettle pond. In Alley Pond Park, there are some that are so deep that there's actually still water in them. There's no river going in.
So, in other words, every time you see a dry place, if you see something like this, if you dig enough, you might find some water.
Maybe. Again, I'm a botanist, not a geologist, so I only have approximate knowledge of that. A geologist would know a lot better. Kids should study geology as well as plants. It's interesting, the stories the rocks tell from thousands of years ago, and what scientists have figured out how to piece all that info together. Again, I had no science until 7th grade. And there weren't kids' science books then either. Certainly no internet. So I'm still trying to catch up. I listen to science podcasts while I'm driving and cooking. Learn more of what I'm curious about. If it had rained more, we would have spent more time in the woods looking for mushrooms, but very dry. You need days of pouring rain. Then this park is full of mushrooms. Those are wood asters. They're related to daisies. They're not edible. They're not poisonous. They sort of taste like paper. They're not food, but they won't kill you. I'm glad we got one called the shaggy. This dry. Okay, it is now 3:24. We have basically just enough time to go back to where we started, which we're going to do. I want to thank everyone for coming. The more, if you kids can get your parents to set up homeschool tours, we will do more tours with a lot of your friends. The more kids that learn about the environment and care about nature, the better job people will do in the future to take care of our planet. There's a lot of pollution in the air and in the oceans we need to get rid of, and we need to elect officials that are going to treat the earth better and not just be friends with the polluting corporations. So anything you kids can do to get more kids to learn about the earth with me and with other people, the better it'll be for the planet and the more fun you'll have too. It's more fun than sitting at home. Well, interesting things to do at home, but you need nature in your life. You have to think about that and decide on your own whether I'm right or totally mistaken. Stay in my house. Okay, so check out the books when we get back to the car. Anyone who can write a customer review on Yelp, that would be greatly appreciated. And whatever you can set up with other organizations, spread the knowledge would be great. When I'm not around, my daughter will be continuing to do this. She's 15, so she'll have a lot of time. And the last thing I have to say, let's see who recognizes this, is